Hey everyone, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because I'm giving away a GoPro Hero 4 session camera just like this one. If we hit 1,000 subscribers before February 20th, 2018. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You'll automatically be entered to win a GoPro just like this one. And now to the 2018 Ford Expedition.
Hey everyone, I'm Rob and welcome to the test drive. Today, I'm driving the all-new, completely redesigned 2018 Ford Expedition. I am so impressed with Ford on this one. I think they completely knocked this one out of the park. They really did a great job at redesigning this 2018 Ford Expedition. The previous generation was not a bad looking SUV. It was big, it was bulky, it was spacious. There were a lot of great things about it, but it was just a tired design. It had really gotten to the point where the Expedition just looked so much the same for such a long time. I mean, the last two generations just looked, you know, they looked very similar. I mean, that Expedition just had a really dated look. So, you know, I was very excited when Ford announced the new Expedition, and you know, seeing it in pictures and then seeing it in person and getting in it and driving it. I mean, there is so much that Ford updated and made so much better in this new generation of the Expedition. So I'm really excited to share it with you today. Now, there are two versions of the Expedition. There's the Expedition and the Expedition Max. And the Max is the extended length Expedition, competes with the Suburban and the GMC Yukon XL. So it's that, you know, extended length, longer wheelbase, large SUV. The one that I'm driving today is the regular length Expedition. There are three different trim levels for the 2018 Expedition. You have the XLT, which is the base level trim. Then you have the Limited that I'm driving. And then at the top of the line, you have the Platinum. So we're gonna start with the exterior of this Expedition. Now, I love the redesign. It looks so good. The front end is so much more aggressive than the previous version. This looks like a much more luxurious SUV, and the exterior is absolutely gorgeous. The Limited trim gets you some very nice 20-inch rims. You also get power deploying running boards. The rear is also a very nice design. You have some very nice tail lights. It's angled very nicely. It does look less truck-like. It looks more in line with the Explorer, obviously being a much bigger premium version, but you know, again, it really looks like a latest generation Ford, whereas the previous Expedition looked like just an older generation Ford vehicle. Now, when you get to the interior, it does resemble the 2018 F-150, which I also have reviewed. And, you know, it's a very nice design. It's extremely comfortable. There are obviously a lot of factors that are different in the Expedition versus the F-150, but it has that feel. It really does feel truck-like when you get in here, but it's also extremely luxurious. You have these very soft leather seats, very soft headrests. I've always thought that Ford has the best headrests in the segment. I mean, these things are just so soft. You also have a very soft steering wheel. And the inside of this Expedition is built very nicely. I mean, you have soft touch surfaces everywhere, very little hard plastic. It's a really nice feel in here. You also have some very nice wood grain. Feels very high quality buttons. and just a really nice premium look in here. I love the look of the center stack. I love the look of the center console as well. I mean, it's just really a beautiful vehicle inside and out. You also have a lot of room in the 2018 Expedition. The front passenger and the driver have a lot of room. There's a lot of room in between the seats. You have a very large second row. This one has the captain's seats. You have a lot of room in the second row. I'm 6 feet tall and I was able to sit behind myself with no issues. I had a lot more room than what I needed. And then the third row also has a pretty decent amount of room. And then you have power folding seats for the second and third row. So a lot of convenience elements with what you can do with this Expedition. It is very versatile. I also love that this Expedition has a black headliner. It really gives it more of a premium look in here than if you were to have a light headliner, considering especially that this is a dark interior. And you also have a very nice, very large panoramic moonroof. I absolutely love this. And it makes the interior feel even larger. Now, getting to the performance of the 2018 Expedition, there are two different variants of the 3.5-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 that's offered in this vehicle. In the XLT and the Limited trims, this engine puts out 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. If you get the Platinum Expedition or Expedition Max, you get 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. All of the engines are mated to the new 10-speed transmission that Ford and GM developed together. And that's actually a very nice transmission. I tested it in the 2018 F-150 as well. That one had the 5-liter V8, but this really is a nice transmission. When they came out with the 10-speed, I was a little bit nervous, a little bit concerned, because it sounds like a lot of gears. You know, a lot of SUVs now have 8-speed transmissions. I thought that was a lot, but actually this 10-speed drives, I mean, it shifts very nicely, and you don't feel like it's shifting too much. And it really is nice when you're cruising at 75, 80 miles an hour and you're running at 1700 RPMs. Actually, it's very nice. It really holds the gears the way that a 6-speed or an 8-speed transmission would, and you really get into those high gears when you're more so just cruising. And it's not clunky at all. Now, the 2018 Navigator has an even higher level of performance. It has the 3.5-liter twin-turbo high-output V6 that's in the Ford Raptor, and that puts out 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. So that thing is just an absolute monster. So Ford is, again, really upping their game in these large vehicles by greatly increasing the performance. And it's awesome. I absolutely love it. And the fuel economy in this Expedition is not bad. I mean, you get 17 miles per gallon in the city, 22 on the highway, and the 10-speed transmission certainly helps with that. But you get very good fuel economy for an SUV this size. Now, the only thing I will say about a twin-turbo V6 versus a V8, these EcoBoosts sound fine, but it's a lot of that manufactured sound, and it really doesn't sound as good as a V8. Now, one thing that I do really notice with this Expedition is that you can hear the turbo. I mean, you can hear that really high-pitched whine when the turbo is spooling, and you have a really nice gauge in here that shows the PSI that the turbo is putting down. The Expedition that I'm driving is the 4-wheel drive version, and while it doesn't have the 2-speed transfer case with 4 high and 4 low, it does allow you to switch between 2 high and 4 auto. So I do like that you can switch between the two. You also have several different driving modes in this 2018 Expedition like you do in the F-150, and I like that you have this big selector here where you can change your driving mode based on your conditions. I'm also very impressed with the ride quality in this 2018 Expedition. It rides so nicely. It is such a smooth, comfortable ride. It feels almost like it just glides on the road. And it also maneuvers very well for its size. I mean, this is a very large SUV, and it maneuvers effortlessly because of the amount of power, but it also corners quite nicely for its size. I mean, it really doesn't feel like this gargantuan SUV. It really does move and maneuver very nicely. Now, the technology that this 2018 Expedition Limited has that comes standard in it is very nice. You do have keyless entry and push button start, and another really nice feature is the power deploying running boards. I also really like that you have power folding mirrors, and the fact that when you lock the car, the mirrors fold in. It's just a really nice feature. A lot of premium vehicles have that, but when you get in here, you really notice all the technology. You have this very large touch screen in the middle of a very good looking center stack, and this has the Sync 3 system, which I've tested in multiple vehicles for you, and it's just such a nice system, the way that it's laid out, the responsiveness. This also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard. You have 2 USB ports in the front, 2 in the center row. You also have 2 car power outlets in the front, one in the center console, another one right next to the center stack, and then you have a full power plug that comes standard in the second row in this limited model. The leather seats in this Expedition are also heated and cooled in the front, and then you have heated seats for the second row in this limited Expedition as well. And then the steering wheel is also heated. Another technology feature that I really love in this Expedition is the fact that it has wireless charging standard. You also get a backup camera, you get front and rear parking sensors, and this Expedition also comes standard with blind spot monitoring. This also comes standard with the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is a very nice sound system, sounds very nice in this Expedition. So there you have it. Ford did an amazing job at redesigning the Expedition. This 2018 model is just awesome. They really knocked it out of the park. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Rob. This is the test drive. Please feel free to give this video a thumbs up. If you like it, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the video and this Expedition and what this competes against. And please subscribe to my channel if you'd like. It does help me make more videos. And I'm also on Instagram at the Test Drive NY. Thanks again for taking this test drive with me, and I'll talk to you soon.